cast range buff on dual breath, but the hero has been same for the quite some time.
It's the meta, right? Like the trying to find something where he's actually able to stay relevant, and taking down towers gives you an advantage now because you can actually end the game. But yeah, the Darkseer and the Slardar here, it's that same type of thing where you can go aggressive dual lane now if you want with this, put the pressure onto IG and keep Bobica home. He's not going to be able to roam as freely unless they pick a really strong laning hero for burning here, which might be what they try and do. Maybe a
Jug as well against Darkseer, doesn't feel threatened about the combo.
This could be the CM that they go for. The Kunkka CM was a really strong combination for finding kills around the map, and then you just pick other strong laning heroes to go with it.
Something to look out for in the big picture from this draft for Liquid is there have been a couple games where they've drafted. So I thought the key hero for the series might be something like a Lone Druid, where it's a hero where if you're expecting a lot of roaming and movement, it's harder to kill and to gank. And Liquid, as part of that, if you're talking about drafting strong laners that are, say, more resilient against ganks, against this kind of roaming pressure versus a strong static lane, then that can counter some of the roaming, get you off to a good start, and allow you to take objectives. Lone Druid, I thought, was especially interesting with some of the changes recently to Rabid, kind of a buff in a sense in that you get it more frequently and the attack speed increase. And then we used to see that run as a ranged Lone Druid. That Liquid won the last Star Ladder, basically being Matamba Man being one of the pioneers, one of the great players on this hero in that ranged form. And so Lone Druid, they used successfully on the first day. It could still be a hero that now that in melee form is tankier, is that much harder to bring down and still keys pushes. And that's something that is also a difficult hero for people to rotate on and gank. So I think that's a key point for Liquid if they see an opening to take that.
Yeah, Liquid really pioneered that concept last year. They call it dead lanes, where they pick a core hero that is just really, really hard to gank, really, really hard, like an anti-mage as well. It's a cost-benefit thing. The enemy team just has to invest a lot of resources in order to gank that hero, and if they do that, you're getting space other places on the map. So there you go. IG are going to go ahead and take out the Lone Druid. We're talking about the Sven as well. This is a hero that has just shot up since the patch. When you talk about it, has the highest win rate in Dota 2 pub play since the patch hit. He gets an extra 320 hit points at level 6. It's almost like Sven got an extra item with the new strength bonus coming from his ult. He's that much tankier early on in the game.
Oh, and they do take out the Lycan again, so wanting to still shut down those heroes that Tomaman's comfortable on. And I don't know, at this point, it definitely still feels like they can go a lot of directions with their draft. I feel like taking a safe lane here that can make use of that Ion Shell and getting up close.
Yep. I think when you play against Liquid, you're always thinking about vision. The Slardar pick, of course, gives you an inherent vision generating mechanism with the Corrosive Haze, but I mean, I go back all the time. The biggest play of the Manila Major was Matamba and Slark providing vision for that gigantic mind control ravage in the Radiant Jungle. They're going to go Dazzle again, a lane dominating hero, the threat of the shove to make you last hit under that safe lane tower, or a decent hero if they end up having to face something like an Ogre in a dual mid situation.
We've seen them draft this combination. I believe this was the same open that they used in the final game against IG and Kiev. And the Dazzle, there's usually some source of sustain, kind of, if you want to like transition from those early team fights and get some kind of push going. There's usually some kind of sustain in the lineup that assists with that, and Dazzle provides that.
Here we go. That Leshrac Alliance ran that hero in the opening day of play, got a tremendous amount of value out of him at the 4 position. Now, the concern that you get, Leshrac can be moved over to the mid if he gets the right matchup, so don't discount that. Most likely a 4, though, and you're now looking at a situation where Kunkka and Leshrac, they're both supports that need that setup. They have stuns, but you're really relying on the Stormhammer out of the Sven as a setup for either of those two.
That is a hell of a lot of disable, though. I mean, you take a look at it, 2-second stun from Sven, another 2-second stun from Leshrac, and then you follow up with the Torrent. Like, mind control could be in a lot of trouble in this lane. Any of them could be in a lot of trouble in that lane if they go there. And now Terrorblade, I like the pick. It is a hero that's going to maybe need a little bit more help in lane, depending. I mean, I wonder if even IG think about going aggressive against it.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking about it. With these 3 heroes, that's pretty much 3 stun against Terrorblade, Dazzle, and Slardar. They have so much more advantage with it.
Wow, and you want to talk about AoE disable. Oh my goodness, this IG lineup all 4 heroes with incredibly strong AoE disable. This Enigma, I think, is going to have a very strong early game presence. It's just so hard to shut down this hero's farm.
But with Enigma being picked right now, I don't think they will go aggressive trial. And Enigma paired against the Darkseer doesn't do that good. Okay, Eidolons have magic resistance, but I don't think it's enough. Maybe you can use the sacrifice on that creep.
Yeah.
I think both.
That Iron Shell
both
is
heroes
on.
get their farm in that matchup, which is, I think IG is actually okay with the Enigma breaking even against the Darkseer, given all the other setup that they're going to have for those mid-game engagements.
And I think right now, if you're Liquid, it's scary because you leave like the Lina in the pool as well, which I think is pretty good against Terrorblade.
Yeah.
They obviously had to ban Tinker, but I think it's a pretty good Lina game here. Ember is like the other one that could end up working out.
Yeah, there's no control for Ember besides Slaughter. That might be a really hot pick, and we know OP plays it a lot.
Yeah.
There's top 3 picked heroes in the past month.
Yeah, this Liquid draft almost, reminding me of a Goblack draft from days gone past. A lot of minus armor, a lot of physical damage, but not much hard disable.
Yeah, that seems like a classic CIS draft, right there. There it
There's
is.
the Ember. Yeah, good call, guys. I think that it's Liquid right now that maybe has to consider the Lina. I guess you could still go a Miracle Invoker here. Could still slide the Terrorblade over to the mid lane matchup as well and pick something more tempo-oriented from a tempo.
They might go for, let's say, a core Venge as well. They need something to cancel that black hole. Once he gets a BKB up, they still got nothing besides, let's say, a lucky Slaughter bash from behind.
Yeah.
It's bold. Maybe DK, something like that is like another way to siege the high ground, or possibly Ursa actually.
Yeah, Ursa, I think
it's still it's still for Black Hole though.
No, I think Ursa is probably your best bet just because you have to win the lanes. All right, so we are going to see the OD mid now. This is Liquid going back to something what we saw on the first day. These mid matchups can so easily spiral out of control, and absent the support rotations, Miracle is going to put a ton of pressure on OP mid in the early laning stage. Guys, I think this draft is fairly even, but I got to ask you, who do you like in this game 1 of our first semifinal?
I'm going to have to go with IG. I like their draft here. I think there's a lot of synergy between the heroes. I think the laning matchups look okay for them with the possible exception of mid, so I like IG in this first game.
Yeah, I'll go with IG as well. I'm not betting again against no hero to cancel the Black Hole Enigma with a BKB. Also, their early rotation heroes with Kunkka and Lash, they can provide so much more than Dazzle and what else is there? Slaughter. They don't pressure the mid lane that much. Also, there's a lot of save on Liquid though,
Yes.
but that might be the problem for IG. But I'll still go for IG though.
I'm gonna go for Liquid. I believe in that save that you're talking about there. Dazzle, Astral. It's gonna be a hard one though, and I think that if it could get away from them really quickly if they're not careful.
Yeah, well, our panel is split. I am going to go for IG, but I think it's dead even in this draft. Liquid needs to win these lanes, and Snowball or this IG team fight combo is going to be a problem. Guys, let's get our day underway. Game 1 of our semifinals, IG versus Liquid Hype. Get your Pog Champs ready. Here are Luminous and Merlini.
Thanks, Nahaz, and yet it's gonna be IG versus Liquid. I just had a complete brain fart, which is definitely not the first time here. But yeah, it's gonna be a very, very good match. I was actually thinking out of the remaining 4 teams currently in this tournament, I feel like this might be the best 2 teams. For me, this is what can be a grand final in a lot of other tournaments. So very excited to be casting this best of 3. And the panel was a bit split. Benwu, how do you actually think about this draft? Who's favorite here?
I would say IG have better team fight, definitely, with the Enigma and the Black Hole, and also just their mass AoE stuns. Everyone has a decent amount of control on their side. However, Liquid, I think, have better push and better late game if they can manage to deal with the Enigma, who is going to be the big question mark. XSS is not as good as his Magnus that was banned in the first phase. Kuro messing with Baboka already.
Yeah, that means his runes is already going to get found out. It might actually go down here if Baboka could land a raw stun, but they'll back off from it. Any sentries available on the supports?
There is only one, and that is a Baboka stash. He did save a little bit of gold, so chicken already coming out. That should be some easy gold. He has a Tango if he wants to eat it, or he can give it to the Enigma if he like.
Okay, yeah, Enigma picks it up now.
Yeah, Enigma doesn't have to waste a tango, so it's probably better if he takes it. Man, but
Or OP takes it. I think OP is. Yeah, OP is like,
do you want to
give it to me. Oh,
Oh, you can.
yo,
attack
look at
it,
that
okay.
right-click attack range.
It's true.
Melee heroes.
Sometimes it's hard to do that though. I don't exactly know how consistent that is,
Ooh,
but
I like this play from IG here. They're just invading to threaten take the rune. I mean, Miracle could Astro 1, but he has to back off from this. Maybe the Slaughdar could actually just go... Whoa, are they actually going to go for the kill? I'm not sure whether that's possible, but they're going to try for it. Miracle. Torrent's going to be up there as well. A lot of right-click. The defensive Astro is going to be there. QH getting position. They have the shield as well. And Q needs to land a Rossan. He does it. Q draws the first blood. Burning very far away from the team. Double Iron Shell. Nice stun coming through. Boboka does have the Torrent. He's faking out. He's baiting out as well. Kuroki. Torrent is...
expend a TP onto Miracle Boboka. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Oh, man. If anything, the man's got style. So.
He's getting more and more clowny every game I see him.
Yeah. Looks like Matumba Man on the top lane has already expended that Metamorphosis to zone out XSS. I don't think XSS cares too much with the...
He has 5 clarities, man.
Yeah.
He's ready for the long game.
It always looks so clowny when you see Enigma just walks out of the base with like 7 clarities, no problem. But, you know, that's how the heroes played. You keep denying them creeps.
XSS is also getting a lot of denies on top on his Eidolon, so a little bit extra XP for him. Also, Sven had to use 2 stuns, a Mango, and a Clarity, so he's actually not doing terribly well in the consumable department.
All right, a little bit of trades here, and Torrent will completely miss. GH now going back in. They have the Astro, but I don't think that the Sun cooldown on Slaughdar is ready yet, so...
Not worth it.
So, Ben, if you're the OD here, is there any adjustment of skill build you would like to go for, given the fact that the Flame Guard is the most likely the thing that...
I've seen 214 a lot.
2-1-4?
Yep.
So, rely more on your orb, and more so use the Astro as a deny mechanism.
Because Ember can't really harass up unless he's up in your face.
Right.
And if he does that, you just orb him down.
Yeah,
But
and pressuring the mana on Ember actually makes the ganks much easier, even after he hits level 6.
Boboka doing a really good job of controlling the runes. He's had, what, 2 bounties at start and is able to get that top one if he wants to go over there. But they're trying to look for Mind Control. Mind Control does have Stick. Burning. He's not the best hero to deal with Ion Shell. Generally, you want an Anti-Mage and Jug are the 2 most common, I would say, in the safe lane favorable matchup versus the Darkseer. But
Yep.
Sven, he's okay. Warcry doesn't really provide him too much, but he can still cleave down the Ion Shell creep without actually taking damage from the Ion Shell. Going for it. Mind Control gets torrented on the bottom into 1 stun. Make that a second. Kuro
Wait,
is
the
there.
TP is going to be there, the defensive surge. Kuro does not even have Grave available, but that 1 heal was all they needed.
Yeah, that 1 heal plus this early stick pickup by Darkseer. I do like how he wasn't greedy at all going for that Soul Ring first. If he went for Soul Ring first with the Mango, he would have died.
Yep. Very nicely done. So it seems like OP is actually having quite a bit of issue on the mid lane, despite the fact that Miracle gave up the first blood. OP is currently out of regen and had to ferry himself more tangos. This is definitely not a good sign if you're a solo mid laner.
Definitely not at all. That's that early first blood will do. GH will have to park himself a lot in mid, but he's only level 1 on this Ember Spirit, or sorry, on the Slaughdar.
Yeah. I mean, Slaughdar is one of those heroes that do get a little bit of free farm time, you know, maybe 7-8 minutes in the game. So he'll be able to catch back up. X marks a spot, and they're going to let Torrent fly. Boboka's just... Oh, man. I mean, let's have some fun, I guess. Torrent is going to fly out defensively here. We'll hit on the OD, and looks like Boba needs to take a trip home.
Boboka. What shenanigans can he pull off today?
What level is that taunt, man? Makes me want to get it. I know it's on the compendium.
Another rune does spawn bottom, favorable for IG as they have better control over this part of the map. Ember Spirit, still no Badu yet. That's actually going to hurt him a decent amount, considering he's already going to have mana issues because of the constant orb harass coming out from OD.
I mean, CS-wise, he's doing okay. I'm not exactly sure where all his goal is going to. Is he going... Did he go Boots first? Yeah, he went Boots first. Which, I mean, against a constant Slaughter harass, it definitely makes a lot of sense, but you're right, like, his regen is further delayed.
Also, OD is having trouble keeping it with mana. He's forced to clarity, although with his 1,000 mana pool, it's not working out too well for him.
Yeah.
So early arcane from Enigma, just so he can keep that constant.
GH coming in here will hit the stun, and this should be a very easy kill. XSS, Midnight Pulse on his way out. The rotation coming in from Q as well as Bobica, but this is not the lane that they could really kind of come into. One will hit on Matumba Man. Okay, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, they got him while he was tanking the tower too. Nice play. Okay, he's going to slow down the push a lot. He does have 6 tangos, but it's going to take him a while to heal up. But now Burning has no support on this bottom lane, as both supporters do flash on the top.
Now, something that the panel talked about is the threat of, I mean, there's no counter to the BKB Black Hole in the mid and late game, right, for XSS. So it feels like Team Liquid has to be the one that's attacking and be the aggressor.
I think they need to get as much mileage out of the Terrorblade as possible early on in the game. But the problem was, they got the Enigma kill with the Metamorphosis, but they weren't able to get any tower damage. So even though the supporters didn't get a return kill, they still did stall the push a lot, which I think is incredibly important in this lane.
Right.
Because Enigma, that tower is generally not regarded as very important, but I think with Enigma, it's super important because you need to be able to farm those neutrals on the left side. And it just makes you feel a lot more safe, you have better control to the shrine, and it just allows people to help you out in case you do want to set up for a black hole with a turnaround game.
GA just runs past the Kunkka and takes the rune away. GA has been very active and been actually sniping a lot of the runes across from the IG side of the map.
Yeah, with the Tranquils, he is incredibly pesky around the map.
Okay.
Looks like GH was looking for any sort of stackage.
Miracle has a point into his ultimate. You generally don't see this at least every game, but in this game when he's using that orb as a stack, could be baiting him into a little bit of play. Bobica comes in, X marks the spot, is available. Of course, the Stealth Astral is there, and then both players trying to bait each other out. Miracle will get the better of that end.
Yeah, he could have probably surprised them with the Sanity's Eclipse. It is normally a 2-1-4 build, but he went a 2-1-3-1. And he's sitting around 70 int right now, and difference is, what, maybe 35, 45 in between him and the Ember right now. So that's a heavy amount of damage that OP might not be expecting.
Now, I know I was mentioning a little bit about the late game matchup. Talk to me about the Terrorblade versus Sven. Historically, it seems like Terrorblade has an advantage versus most melee carries, right?
Versus Sven, it's a little bit different because you don't get that much out of the reflection because you're not really.
He's not buying aura items to buff
He's
his
not
team.
buying aura items, and his generally like the illusion is just not going to hit him very hard because he has Warcry and he doesn't have like innate crit like a Juggernaut or something like that. So it's not going to be that bad for him, I would say. And Sven is almost always going to buy BKB.
And Blink. Like, he's going to get up to your face, so a lot of that range advantage will be taken away. So I think this game is really a lot up to the backlines of Liquid to keep the Sven at bay, whether it's that corrosive haze or even the weave.
And it's important to be able to kill Terrorblade's illusions, and Sven's incredibly good at doing that, as
That's
is
true.
the rest of IG's lineup.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to need a lot of damage from the OD as well as the Terrorblade and Late Game Miracle. Does pick up a DD rune in the top lane. Seen a lot less bottles recently. Post-patch.
Well, the one thing that's going well for sure for Team Liquid is that they are farming rather well here. Both the cores are, for their side, is leading over the IG counterparts. And generally that's where most of the network lead is at.
And let's see how much damage they can get on a tower. This is another use of the Metamorphosis, I believe the third, I would say, for them. But XSS just drops a Midnight Pulse, and tower is still pretty healthy, half HP, and Metamorphosis still has a good amount of time left, 20 seconds, but I don't think that's going to be enough to really do anything about this tower. So XSS is just happy to park himself and farm here and get his Midas up as soon as possible.
Very interesting. Burning ports to the tower, and he's just like looking to stack for himself. Maybe he was expecting a gank coming his way, but his stack is going to get disrupted by GH. Looks like Sanity's Eclipse was dropped. OP will survive that engagement, and he'll walk it home.
It's still annoying for OP. OP is forced to
Yeah.
just spend so much time outside of the lane, and now that meta is down, looks like IG are going to be the ones. If you don't have Jakiro, Leshrac might be the next best thing.
Smoke rotation coming back in. Storm will hit here. They're going to go right onto the OD, but okay, Stormhammer is going to get dodged. Very nicely done. Torn, though, can't be set up by Bobica. Black Hole is available as well. Miracle surge up. He is on the run. They will settle for a GH kill, I suppose, but the one they really wanted was the OD.
Miracle just waited so long with that Astral, and he had to cast Stormbolt because he thought he was waiting for some reason. But Burning is getting a little bit active around the map. I like this play from his Sven. A lot of times you see Sven farm up there, core like Mask and Echo and Blink, and then start fighting. But he likes to get active early, make sure that this mid tower is protected so that he does have more Ancients available to him.
Yep.
And the top tower is actually going in favor of the Radiant. That tower is way lower on their side.
Q might be in a little bit of trouble, threatens a stun, forces GH to run away. Now the stun, it will miss completely. GH has absolute free reign. That is going to be a kill. Kuroki will KS it from the high ground. Kill secured. Now, if you're an IG fan out there, you might be looking at this goal graph and be like, well, you know, they're not doing too well. But I think this is actually pretty standard for IG. They almost always is a little bit slow when it comes to starting at the game, but they have a very strong mid-game recovery. And like the panel has pointed out, this is geared more towards a late-game draft for IG. So I think so far, especially when you point out the top tower, you know, versus the dire top tower, I think IG is actually relatively happy with how this early game has went.
I would say so, but they did lose that bottom tower for free. Terrorblade was just down there, didn't even use meta. Now he will use meta and just take down this tower in the mid game and mid lane. And this is not what you want as IG. It's okay to lose one, but losing your mid tower this early in the game is not something that's going to be favorable for them, because they still need a lot of time to stack up and farm with Sven and of course use the Midas on Enigma. And XSS, we usually typically don't see him get involved until maybe 25 minutes in. I do like that he TP'd in to the mid lane. That was an adjustment that we didn't really see from him in the prior games.
Yep. I mean, again, the tower game out top lane, the fact that he's protecting that tower, you know, 12 minutes in the game right now is already above and beyond what you expect from most other offlanes against the Terrorblade. So I say his impact has already been felt, even though he has not used that black hole just yet.
But look at their supports. This net worth graph is looking pretty ugly for Kunkka and for Leshrac. They are down in the dumps.
That's true.
Slumlords.
Yeah, and that's kind of the benefit of having a strong tower pusher on the side, right? Your supports, even though they're roaming as actively as OP and Q has been, they get the tower bonus. So GH, I mean, it's going to be working on Blink relatively soon, I say.
If you're in IG's position right now, you feel a little bit choked. Feel like you can't farm any of your Ancients safely. It's nighttime. You don't really know where they are right now. Slardar is the most mobile hero on the map right now, and he has constantly been off the map. Right now, he's just farming a little bit with the Ion Shell, but he could just be around the corner waiting to gank someone. And
yep.
IG are constantly living in that fear, and it's showing in this network graph.
They do have some option of counterplay, like, you know, Bolt, Black Hole. These are some very big AoE spells that you could spend if Burning does get dived, but that's assuming you're at the right place at the right time. And IG also lacking vision. Like, if you look at Team Liquid's wards, they are peppering all over the Radiant jungle. And IG cannot keep up, it feels like.
At least they still have one T1 tower left, but Burning is not happy about going to that bottom Ancient and seeing that it has already been taken down by the Slardar. And as far as the cores go, looks like everyone's pretty even. But the support is where it's going to make a big difference, because Slaughter is halfway to Blink Dagger, and these IG supports just have nothing.
Yep.
You want Kunkka to be able to transition later, or at least offer a fair amount of damage with Tidebringer, or maybe some defensive items with Pipe or Mech, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do any of that.
You know, when this hero was picked, Leshrac, you were kind of commenting, it's kind of like Jakiro, right? And Q has been sort of playing like that, using that stun, sort of like Dual Breath to assist in ganks, and of course using that Edict for tower push. Of course, you know, Post Nova is going to be quite good in the mid-late game as well. XSS might be in a little bit of trouble, drops Malefice. Black Hole immediately. Well, Q is very far away, and there's no chance of getting that kill. The Eidolon's doing some work. Maybe the Sanity's Eclipse. Okay, Miracle now turns around, left to fight Q, and he will get the kill. Eidolon's trying to do some work, but QH, backing up his ally, will secure the retreat. Very nicely done by Team Liquid, and perhaps a little bit too early of a jump here. But X-Torn Bolt will fly out against G8. Wait, where's the Torn?
Didn't cast it. Didn't have enough damage anyways. This infused raindrop causing him a lot of trouble.
Yep.
Kunkka just being a little bit annoying here, but if they had him up top for that little bit of extra damage, or that
or just a stun.
Yeah, anything, really. and that will be lost opportunity for them. But it is still creating space for some other people on the map. I don't actually think it's that big of a deal that he wasted black hole just because of the pace game. We have 6 kills here in 15 minutes. No one really expects something to erupt. It's not like you're going to have like a 10-man brawl at Roche anytime soon.
I mean, maybe you're going to lose a tower for that, like a tier 1 top, but I don't think it's that big in the grand scheme of things. And like you said, I like the fact that IG is now playing or trying to play within the Team Liquid side of the map, because that gives Burning a lot, more breathing room to farm safely on the bottom side.
Yep, and Liquid is going to be playing around their Metamorphosis cooldown. They might actually be able to go for Erosion pretty soon, because Meta's cooling down to 40, and Enigma.
Do they have that medallion?
They do have a medallion on Dazzle. Yeah, I think Roshan might be coming up pretty soon. And I thought that the black hole wasn't going to be very consequential for them, but it seems that there could be a window over here. Wow, what a prediction on that skin.
I mean, yeah, Kuro. He's going to pour out of that and makes IG waste quite an important smoke.
He tried to time it so that he would TP out as the smoke popped, which would have further wasted more time for them. I don't know how he saw that gank coming. That's crazy.
It's like you said, Liquid slightly advantage at this point in both, go graph, map advantage, as well as tempo, but I don't think it's a big enough advantage to really say, they're going to take this game.
Nope, still have to wait for the team fights.
There is one concern for me, for IG in the mid and late games. I see like this Sven is going to get kited. There's so many ways for Liquid to engage or disengage at will. You have Surge, you're going to have a 4-staff or 2 coming out from the Liquid squad. You have Sprint, you have Reflection that could slow down the Sven. Even Poison Touch from Dazzle is going to be somewhat annoying. So I feel like Sven needs to really rely on that Blink Dagger BKB combination to get a lot of things done.
He could be just relying on the X combo from Kunkka. There's not... Astral's pretty good versus it, but you still are going to be able to catch people. If they Astral someone, then you could just follow up with tons of stuns or even drop a black hole on top of it. So I don't think it's that big a deal that Sven doesn't have BKB yet. And he is going for Blink next, post-Sage.
Tier 2 bottom will go down. It was very low already, and now Miracle may be trying to keep someone here with his Astral. Diabolic Edict on the buildings here, and it will get Glyph for now. Did hear an X go off. Miracle will eat a Torrent as well. Just a little bit harassed.
They need the second Edict.
Oh god, they're popping this God Strength here for this. Burning.
There is Enigma coming in from the top side. Look at his position. He's right above Burning in the trees, and they could be setting up for a big black hole. IG's pulling back to the left side, waiting for them to come into this choke.
And he had Blink, so hiding in there and surprising Team Liquid would have been excellent there.
Yeah, that was smart by both sides. IG were prepared for Liquid to come up, but Liquid didn't come up because they did not know where the Enigma was at all, and they had scouted his Blink a long time before. So now we're still keeping pretty tight, and looks like Roshan going to be the next point for Liquid now that they still have Meta. Meta just popped, and there is a scan that has hit, but they are all inside the pit. This could be Exodus's time to shine. Q is still pushing out the top lane. They need his firepower here.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, they have triple Remnant. The Midnight Pulse will discourage the Roshan a little bit here, and I don't think they can actually stand within the Midnight Pulse. Dazzle is going to keep them here alive. The cooldown that Burning does not have is God Strength. Is he just walking in there? Okay, pops a Warcry. Tries to be the menace, scares him a little bit. Torrent will fly out. XSS on the back line, being somewhat caught out here, and that is going to be a kill. Great pick here by Miracle. Bubbucket's going to let the bolt loose, but I don't think Miracle cares. Meanwhile, simultaneously, the rest of Team Liquid working on Roach, trying to finish it. Bubbucket is going to get taken down as well. They still have Sanity's Eclipse. This could be big here. OP. He needs to get out right now. He could die. He jumps left. He has vision on him still. OP can get the hammer dropped on him. Meanwhile, wall on the back line as well. Triple kill on Miracle. Looks like he did not even need to commit his own. Mind control now going up Burning, forcing him away.
That was awkward.
And the 1-by-1 by IG has just punished him.
That was a really big play by Matumba Man. Matumba Man was on the left side of the pit, and he attacked Enigma, who was trying to posture himself on the left side outside the pit. So he attacked from inside the pit, outside the pit, because Miracle gave him vision on the left side of the map, and Miracle just annihilated those supports on the left side. They were just not in a position, like no one can really go in. I guess Ember Spirit maybe with a blade mail, but he was far too late to start off that fight for them.
I don't think Ember wants to go in by himself, right?
He has to though. Who else? Sven did not have Blink at that time. He went for Halberd first.
I think he really wants like at least a Torrent to fly out to give him some info.
They had Eidolons at the start of the fight. They kind of knew where they were, but he just didn't want to go in.
Right. It's scary, you know?
It is scary, but The thing about it is, as Ember Spirit, you do have the luxury of being able to buy back if you pre-throw a Remnant down if you think it's going to be a one fight. But they would have had to throw all their resources there, and it seemed like from the beginning they didn't really want a 5-on-5 there because Q just got the T2 tower on top, uncontested, but giving up roaches.
I think the other big difference is look at the ward. That is, well, hold that thought here as, well, Q just gets absolutely destroyed by the Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, they do have an X on Miracle. Miracle does have the Aegis. This could be a bait. Hiroki coming on the back line. The defensive Astro is going to be there, buying them some time. Here comes GH on the sideline. They will take him down. Never mind, he does not have the Aegis. Excuse me. That's going to be 2 kills. And the rest of the support, do they want to make a combo play? GH has a blink, blinks right in here, and Kunkka will get caught. Ooh, this is a bad position. Vacuum is going to be available. Where's the vacuum? Is it on cooldown? It is on cooldown.
Wow, that halberd that he picked up. Oh my god, saved him so hard right there. I thought he was dead for sure, but he was on the high ground.
OP might be in a little bit of trouble. He does not have a Remnant out, I don't think. Okay, he could let one fly, but his mana pool is pressure. He does not have a jump out. I think he might be dead here, especially with the vision granted. Yeah, GH secures yet another stun.
Not the worst thing in the world, I suppose, but yeah, OD is dead at the very least for